Hi everybody, Mr. E from Art with Mr. E, and today's topic is blending. Now, blending is something we can do that will enhance our artwork in such an amazing way. Now, because we're at home and we might not have a ton of art supplies available, I thought we'd go with the tried and true Crayola crayons. They can do some beautiful things if you use them the right way. So let's just dive in here. I've already pre-drawn my flower, and I'm going to start by coloring the part where the larger petal connects to the flower. Now, at first I push kind of hard, not so hard that I break the crayon though, that would be bad, but I push rather hard to get a nice solid color. Then I'm going to slowly start going up and getting a little bit lighter and a little bit lighter. Now, this is very important to go from a dark to a light with the crayons because crayons are made out of a wax. And if you push really hard everywhere with the crayon, the wax becomes really thick and you cannot mix your colors together. And we want to be able to mix our colors together. So we start with that reddy orange color, and I'm going to move on to a yellow orange. And I'm going to go right over top of where I started getting lighter with the reddy orange. So I'm putting the yellow orange on top of the reddy orange. And those colors begin to blend, mix together. We want to make it look like the colors are melting into each other. We don't want to see any harsh lines. So I push relatively hard down in this area with the yellow orange, and then I'm going to slowly get lighter and lighter. Now, the last color I'm going to use is yellow. Now this is dandelion yellow. Crayola removed this color from the box, which is just so sad because it's a beautiful yellow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right down here to the tip of my flower. I'm going to go back over top of the yellow orange and kind of mix those colors together. Alright, to see how that just kind of goes from the one color to another. This is, some people will call this a gradation. Somebody might call it like an ombre almost effect. You're blending your colors together. So I'm going to go and I'm going to show you the next one, just so I know that you guys got this right. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to show you a couple so you get the idea. But I'm going to start off again with my reddy orange, pushing very hard. And if you notice, I try to keep with the shape of the petal. I don't want to color it side to side, and I don't want to color it straight up and down. I want to get that curved shape. And I don't want to do every single petal exactly the same because it just won't look real, it won't look natural. If you I have some students that will just want to color all this all the way around, almost like a circle of the dark color, and then a circle of the yellow orange, and then a circle of the yellow. That's not blending. That's going to make stripes, okay? So I started fading out to a lighter color and get my yellow orange back, going back here where I started to get lighter, but I don't want every petal to be exactly the same. I want them to be a little bit different, a little bit individual. We all like individuality. We like to be ourselves, right? Well, these petals want to be themselves as well. So I go over and start getting lighter. And I just left a very small tip to be the bright yellow, the dandelion. So they are very similar, but they are not exactly the same. All right, so do you think you got that idea? All right, so let me show you something that is circular. In the center of our flower, I'm going to start with indigo. Now indigo is a bluey purple color, and I'm going to start around the outside edge, and I'm pushing relatively hard, just like I did with the petal here with the red orange. I'm pushing relatively hard, just being careful not to snap the crayon. And did you notice something else? I went around the circle. I didn't go straight across, I didn't go straight up and down. I'm going with the shape of the object. So once I have done the darker, I'm going to start getting a little bit lighter. Going around. Get a little bit lighter. Now it's almost pretty enough to leave like that, but we're going to go back in with a red violet. Red violet, it's kind of tricky because when you look at it, you're like, well, that looks like red. But when you color with it, it's more like a pinky purple. Those are tricky crayons. That's why it's always good to look at the side. Crayola always has their name right there, so you can see. And I'm going to go around where I started getting a little bit lighter. And I'm going to go in. And I got a little bit lighter with my red violet as I went to the center. All right. And then I'm going to get a pink. And I'm going to go over the center and then start spiraling outwards to kind of make sure those colors are all blended very nicely and that there is no white remaining in the center. But this is just kind of, we're growing as artists, we're taking steps to be better and better, and this is one of those steps that we can take to make our artwork look even more amazing. If you have a coloring book at home, you might try to do some blending. If you have just some paper and you want to try to draw, even if it's just lined paper that's in a notebook, that's all right. This is a practice time. This is a time for you to try new things, and sometimes you're going to be super successful, and sometimes you're going to make mistakes. And you know what? That's okay. That is part of the learning process. So if you make mistakes, it's okay. There's usually ways that we can figure out how to fix our mistakes. And if not, we can always start over, right? Let me show you a mistake before I end the video today. So say that you're just, okay, Mr. E said to get 3 crayons, so I'm going to get the red, I'm going to get the orange, and I'm going to get the dandelion yellow. There, I'm done. Now, can you see the difference between blending and just putting the colors side by side? There's a big difference, isn't there? Sure is. Now, if you've made that mistake, don't fret. It's okay. Like I said, you can start over, or you can try to fix your mistakes. I always think it's great to try to fix our mistakes, because usually we can come up with a plan to make it look better. Because you know what? Being an artist is not about being perfect, but figuring out a way to make things look the way that we want them to. I can guarantee you could talk to any artist out there and they're not going to say that they are perfect. They all make mistakes, but they figure ways to fix their mistakes. So all I did was I went back and I pulled that red up along the sides a little bit, And then I'm going over, I am pushing a little bit harder because that wax was down, and sometimes it's hard for that wax to take more color on top of it. So I am pushing just a little bit harder than I would normally. I'm going to go over the dandelion with a little bit of this yellow orange. And then I'm just going to go back and go over it again with the dandelion to kind of just blend those colors together just so. There we go. Now that doesn't look too bad, does it? So don't get frustrated if you make mistakes. Just kind of look at it for a little bit and say, what can I do to fix that mistake?